Good morning, UTLA family, students, educators, and parents who are joining us today, Friday, August 21st, 2020. I know so many of you are gearing up for the final school day of the week, so I will try to make this brief. Today, I'll be talking about our first week of navigating the challenges of crisis distance learning, the LAUSD grab and go food centers, updates from the Distance Learning Task Force, which met yesterday, and upcoming events. There are so many questions out there. This is a lot. I will start by answering some of what we know now. If you are going to your classroom to teach, please do this safely. We are making sure LAUSD abides by the proper health and safety protocols at each school. Wear your mask. If you have a fever or other symptoms, stay home. Wash your hands frequently and practice safe social distancing. UTLA recently created a rank and file crisis distance learning work group that met yesterday with LAUSD for the first time to start to troubleshoot some key areas of concern to improve our new remote environment. Some key takeaways: devices. If parents need laptops and devices, go to your principal, who will be able to order more. Attendance. Teachers should submit attendance by 3 p.m. We understand for secondary teachers, this is an item of concern, and the work group will continue to work on this. The work group will continue to address some of the big questions out there. UTLA will soon be providing an FAQ to answer questions around scheduling, synchronous versus asynchronous, substitutes, combo split classes, clarifying breakout groups, and independent study, soliciting feedback from schools and areas, and assisting in building relationships with parents whose participation is so essential for crisis distance learning to be successful. If you have questions, please put them in the chat below, and we will do our best to answer them soon. Instruction and school improvement is a central component of our organizing strategy, but it is the bedrock of what we do as educators and is needed now more than ever. Wow, what a first week. Lots of highs and lows. This has been a rough start to the new school year for so many. Rather than introducing ourselves to parents and students in our classrooms, we had to try our best for a connection through the screen. It is important to remember that we are doing all the best we can under extraordinary circumstances that are difficult. We are the second largest school district in the country with more than 500,000 students and 900 school sites, and trying to convert all of the work we do into virtual and remote learning spaces has been more than a challenge. Schoology works 1 minute and then it doesn't the next. But we are educators. That means we have flexibility, love, and patience. These are our cornerstone values, but that doesn't mean limits aren't being tested. It's okay to feel overwhelmed and frustrated when so many new issues have to be solved hour by hour, minute by minute. It's incredible. These are not normal times, and so we need to have compassion for ourselves as well. Many of us are juggling being an educator and a working parent while helping our kids get through the remote school day. My son Giovanni started 4th grade. I don't even know where the time goes. On Tuesday with Miss Thornton. She has a personality as big as Texas and is simply amazing. I heard from Miss Thornton late last night that her PC was down and she was afraid it wouldn't be fixed by this morning for our class. I just want to let Miss Thornton know you are enough and we are here to support you, Miss Lady. I also heard from Gemma Marquez, who had been working since before the sun rose yesterday, and she still had another 2 hours to put in. Educators, you all are rock stars. Simply put, rock stars. You are going above and beyond what is asked, and you rise above every expectation. We thank you for your dedication, your resilience, your persistence, and your selflessness. We are proud to know you. We worry about our families. We worry about our students as we look out through a screen rather than our classroom. We worry about their health. Are they sleeping okay? Are they eating? Are they happy? Are they interested in the work? Do they have Wi-Fi? Do families have the social, emotional, and mental health supports they need? Do they have access to adequate health care? Some students haven't checked in with us at all. We worry about them most. We worry about each other. You may have heard about a talented, beloved English teacher at El Camino High School who wore a t-shirt in support of Black Lives Matter movement. She was quickly targeted by racist rants, death threats, and calls to remove her teaching credential. The t-shirt read, "I can't breathe." This is a powerful statement that recognizes the need to end the police violence against Black people and to support and uplift the lives of our Black students and families. When word got out about how she was being targeted, her colleagues and students, both current and former, rallied around her in support. And I want you to know that UTLA joins in that effort. We must support her and so many like her to keep this type of bullying in check. We should be encouraging educators to decolonize their curricula and break down the systems of oppression in our classrooms. We must continue the vital work to educate, inform, and organize to dismantle racism from our classrooms and from our communities. I want to give a shout out to Lisa Harvey and all of the other chapter chairs who are holding it down, doing a great job, and speaking up on behalf of us all, upholding the contract at your school site and doing so much for your colleagues, students, and parents. You are doing great work in spite of. We know this is a lot. We see you. We appreciate you. I want to recognize all of the educators who are doing their best under these trying times. I hear stories of frustrations and stories of hope. Sometimes even laughter, like Lee Garrison or Steve Miller, folks creating memes. You have me cracking up. From adversity to adaptation, from frustration to focus, from confusion to understanding. As always, even in the moments of struggle, Educators make moments of success. I take heart from this quote from a First Street Elementary parent, Rebecca Menendez, on Monday. She picked up her daughter's kindergarten packets and found handwritten notes inside from her teacher. The parent said, "It's the little things like that that make me appreciate the teachers and make me think we're going to be okay." And we are going to be okay by leaning on each other, by collaborating, by taking it day by day, heck, second by second. We're going to need that. I want to give a huge shout out and gratitude to all the parents out there. We see you too. Moms, dads, grandparents, etc., sitting next to your children, trying your best to help transition to this new reality. We know these are tough economic times for so many families. The more than 60 food distribution centers throughout LAUSD, known as the Grab and Go Food Centers, starting on Monday, August 24th, the Grab and Go's will change their hours of operation. The food centers will now be open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. This change will allow students and families to have ample time to pick up their meals and eat before online classes begin. The Grab and Go centers will continue to provide nutritious meals to students and community members who need them while students are learning in virtual classrooms. 2 meals are provided per person. LAUSD students and their parents should bring their meal barcode available at their school, or the barcode was sent by mail to get scanned for meal pickups. Each student has a separate barcode. This is important. Adults do not need a barcode to pick up meals. To my friends in the Top Shelf Facebook group, Meals to Go, continue creating those beautiful meals. And as tough as we are having it, teachers, educators in other states are faced with being forced back to in-person learning while the pandemic still rages around us. Educators in Florida, Texas, Arizona, Massachusetts, and Little Rock, Arkansas, are fighting for the health and safety of students and educators by organizing car caravans, sick outs, and community campaigns. No school should open until it's safe, and we stand in solidarity with these educators. And speaking of making schools safe to reopen, this week, LAUSD announced a broad new coronavirus testing and contact tracing program for all staff currently working at school sites, and eventually for all students and UTLA members when schools physically reopen. Details are still being developed, but this is an important step and one we've demanded as a necessary part of a safe return to physical school sites. We are working with the district to get more information on how the program would work and how it would support the health of our school communities. Going down this testing path does not mean an accelerated move toward a physical return to schools. The spread of COVID-19 in LA still far exceeds the state guidelines governing the return of students to campus, and there are still many other protocols, such as personal protective gear, disinfecting procedures, and proper ventilation that must be in place. Our next negotiations with the district will focus on the eventual physical return to school sites. but there is no time for that, and we just don't know when it'll happen. Per the UTLA LAUSD Distance Learning MOU, no UTLA member can be mandated to physically return to school sites, but our school nurses are being asked to voluntarily participate in the testing tracing program. We're working closely with our amazing school nurse leaders to ensure that all aspects of the program are safe for any and all UTLA volunteer participants. We'll be gearing up for our incredibly busy fall season this month, including a citywide meeting for chapter leaders on August 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. Chapter leaders, make a note of that date and get ready to strategize with leaders across our schools. Until next time, I wish you a wonderful Friday, a restful weekend, and continued resilience with this new school year. We stand with you. Stay UTLA strong. We are all in this together because together we rise.